This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 11/18/2020. This is show number 162. Well, Nick, yesterday's action, a little bit of backing and filling, but overall very encouraging.
Yeah, I thought it was very encouraging yesterday, and when it was some backing and filling. But yesterday, a couple of things happened that I thought were pretty important. One, the Russell 2000 finished in the green yesterday after being negative with the other major indexes. The markets had a gap lower open. They faded for about 30 minutes, and then they reversed up. And all the markets finished off of the lows, but the Russell actually closed in the green. And something else happened yesterday I thought was pretty positive was the transports. Transports actually finished positive yesterday after a morning sell-off. And anytime you get those kind of test days where you go down and test the low and then you reverse higher, that's pretty encouraging. And the transports are such a big part of the market when it comes to airlines, it comes to freight and shipping companies, it comes to railroads. So that was very, very encouraging to see.
All right. And today they're hitting a record high, right?
Today, the transports are at a new all-time high. And again, very, very encouraging. The markets are up a little bit. They're not up, in a big way, but you have some real encouraging signs out here as you have some retailers doing very, very well. And you also have the financials, the large banks doing very well. JP Morgan's up over $2 today. Citigroup up $1.55. That's a 3% move for Citigroup. And Wells Fargo, that's the one bank stock we consider a dog with fleas. That's up 72 cents, which is almost a 3% gain there. So very, very encouraging to see the financials getting a bid. And you have the Nasdaq a little bit weaker today, not down a whole lot, down about 0.2%. But money seems to be rotating out of tech and going into other areas.
Hey, and what other areas, what other sectors seem to be benefiting from this rotation?
Well, we talked about a little bit about retail. We definitely are talking and looking at the financials now and energy. Energy has done surprisingly pretty well. Today, energy is a little bit on the flat side. But one thing I like to follow when I look at energy stocks is the XOP, ticker symbol XOP. That's the S&P 500 Oil and Gas Explorers and Production ETF. And that's actually up about 36 cents today. So everything else is kind of up a little bit, down a little bit, but I mean very little. And very encouraging when you see the Explorers getting a bid.
Yeah, well, supposedly we're going to end our dependence upon hydrocarbon energy production. This is I think that the rumors of energy's death are greatly exaggerated.
Well, I just don't see how that's practical at this stage, but we'll see what the Great Reset has in order.
Yeah, the Great Reset. So what will the Great Reset have in order for us, do you think?
I'm really not sure. I think they want to eliminate all cows, so we can't eat any meat products anymore. I think they want to also eliminate all fossil fuels and go totally green. Are these things practical right now? I don't know if they're practical, but I think that is on their agenda, and they're very vocal about it. It's out in the open. Members are constantly sending me information about it. I'm watching all these videos from the World Economic Forum or Council, whatever. I don't even know what they call themselves, but Klaus Schwaa and company, they continue to promote what is coming.
Yeah, well, what they think is coming. I've heard that they want to get into having people eat bugs, basically, for protein.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen that one yet, but I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, like cricket paste, and it was disgusting. I was in a restaurant 10 years ago, maybe it was 8 years ago, for my son's graduation in Austin, Texas, and they had cricket protein on the menu, and it's like, I can't eat in this place. I'll have some bread, provided the bread's actually made from grain and not from insect byproduct.
Well, we're coming to a really, really pivotal point in history. And if people haven't seen it yet or woken up to what is going on around the world, then I think they have a bigger problem ahead. Because if you're not aware of it, then you're going to be blindsided when it comes down to it. But I mean, if you just look at the commentary from Trudeau in Canada, you look at the commentary, out of globalists like Bill Gates and George Soros. I mean, they're not hiding what they're looking to do. So I think we don't want to get into the conspiracy theorists of it all, but if somebody tells me they're conspiracy theorists anymore, I say, well, you might be onto something now. So it's rather frightening when you look at what has happened in 2020. Nobody ever thought we'd see lockdowns like we're seeing, and it's still going on. I mean, look at the UK. Who would ever think they would lock down the UK? Who would think Boris Johnson would turn into the person he's become? So, again, you got to be careful out there. This is a changing time in history. And, I'm a chartist. I just follow the money. I just want to trade and make money. I just, hope that for my children's sake that we have a society going forward.
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. And yeah, so you need to be aware of what's going on, but you can't obsess over it and allow it to make your life miserable,
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you have to go on, you have to live. But I mean, we've never seen media censorship like this in the history that I've been alive. I mean, I've got over 50 years on this planet. I've never seen anything like this. I've always followed current events. I'm a student of history. I mean, this stuff has gone on in the past, but it has never gone on in modern times quite the way it is going on now. So, I mean, we're just in a really, really different time in history. And, again, my goal here is to make money, to follow the charts. And that's what I try to do.
Hey, and that probably makes the most sense. Where are gold and silver at today?
Today, we have the GLD just up 15 cents. If you take a look at gold futures, down about $3 at the moment. And then you have silver today. Up a little bit, upticking a little bit right now, up about 7 cents in the future. So, very, very quiet day for silver again. Yesterday was another quiet day, and today we are looking at more of the same.
Okay, so what's going to be here with? Are we just setting up like a very dull market in precious metals? They go up. Yesterday they went down towards the end of the session. But is this indicative of a market that's about to take off?
Yeah, well, what we're doing, we've talked about this before, really in the precious metals, when I look at the pattern, it's just forming a really, really nice consolidation pattern. And ultimately that pattern leads to higher prices in precious metals. So, sometimes these things can take a while. They could take, multiple months. Sometimes they could take a year or two. But I mean, I actually love what I'm seeing on the precious metals chart. So I'll just use gold for this instance. But I love that. I mean, we put a high in August, and we're really just trending slightly lower. What we call that is a flaggish type pattern. What I like to say is you're looking at a monthly chart inside bar. And that's one of my favorite patterns in the world. I trade that pattern quite often. And that's why I've been so patient, because the pattern hasn't come to fruition yet. Needs some more backing and filling before it completes itself. But this ultimately is a very, very bullish pattern for gold. Just in the near term, it just is going to continue to, I think, just do a lot more backing and filling.
All right. So we'll keep our eyes on it, because you need to be ready for this move. What about copper? Copper has been on fire.
Copper's been on fire. I have not chased it, though, but it is, again, been up there in the stratosphere. I'd like to see a pullback, and I actually do expect a pullback coming up, especially as we get into 2021. So, again, a lot more upside in copper, but in the near term, it's overbought, so we leave it alone for now. I've had some great copper plays, both in the options market and also in swing trading, but now I'm sitting back, and I'm just buying my time, waiting on the pattern.
And sometimes that is what you have to do. You can't always be trading, or what we refer to as ABT, always be trading. Sometimes you just have to sit back and let the pattern complete, let the picture become whole, and then make your move.
Yeah, Jesse Livermore stated it best. He said, there's a time to be long, there's a time to be short, and there's a time to go fishing. and you have all these different markets, sometimes you just have to just go fishing and wait for these markets to give you the setup. And, I think that's where we are with copper, although the chart is powerful. It's had an amazing run, but it is into the 2017 highs. And, generally when you hit a double top resistance point like that, you're going to do some backing and filling and do some, or maybe even retrace a bit. And hopefully we get that. But there is still a lot more upside down the road in copper.
All right. And that's really exciting. I think it's not so much a recovering global economy as it is probably higher commodity price inflation ahead of us.
Or it could be a combination of both.
Right. Yeah. Hey, the market will let us know, right?
It always does.
Hey, speaking of TJX, they just sent me a $20 coupon because I bought a bunch of stools there at Home Goods. So, hey, great company. But great companies still, you always have to look at their price action independently of the company's underlying operations, like Apple, like Tesla, right? You can't just
absolutely.
Yeah, fundamentals only tell a part of the story, and fundamentals tell you what's happened in the past, right?
They do, and the funny thing people don't realize, but when you use charts, the charts are forecasting the future always. So they're always, not so much a perfect crystal ball, but they're somewhat like a crystal ball because they're always looking at the future. So very, very often you'll see a company come out with horrendous news, and the stock will go up because the marketplace has decided that it can't get any worse for them. It's only going to get better from here. So a lot of people don't understand that's how markets work. They're forward thinking, and charts and price action is very, very efficient.
Yeah. Hey, in the fundamentals, like when you look at a company's balance sheet or income statement, it's a historical document. And as they say, future performance is not indicative, or rather, past results are not indicative of future performance.
Yes, we see that saying a lot on a lot of different, especially in the financial world. But like I always tell everybody, just follow those charts, let those patterns come out, learn the patterns, learn the retraces, learn everything that we do, and you'll be on your way to profitability.
Absolutely, and the best place to start your education is by going to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. Check out his trading record, a lot of valuable trading info you will find there. And, of course, follow the Twitter feeds because then you get to see what Nick is doing real time, his impressions. And the Twitter feeds are at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, at Kerry Lutz. Send us your emails, kl@kerrylutz.com. We'll try to get to some more emails in the coming sessions ahead. But for now, we will catch up with you tomorrow, Nick. Thanks.
Thank you.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at Nick Santiago01.